The idea behind Alterna Care was to take care of the healthcare ecosystem in India. Right now, if you look at the healthcare ecosystem, it is not that efficient. A, because of the accessibility in the tier 2, tier 3 towns, the good doctors are not present there, and approximately 60% of the, or more than 60% of the doctors are found in the tier 1 cities. Coming on to the tier 1 cities, the time spent in visiting the doctor's clinic or a hospital is far more higher, and the relevancy of the doctor is quite scattered. So if today I need to visit a doctor for a specific problem, I have few options, but again everything is pretty, there is no hand holding, personal hand holding to pick up a doctor from the pool of this cluttered set of doctors in tier 1 cities. So to solve this problem, we came up with this solution, Alterna Care, wherein we provide the personal hand holding to the patient. He doesn't have to wait at all to go to a doctor or to consult a doctor regarding anything, or any second opinion required for any treatment. So that is how the Alterna Care came into inception. Initially we had started with just homeopathy, and we got a really good traction. We started with SEM campaigns, Google AdWords, because if in today's world, if you need to grow fast and grow upwards, you need to go through digital marketing. So we started with the SEM campaigns, got a really good traction from tier 2, tier 3 towns. Then we tied up with a lot of government agencies, NGOs, as well as the pharmacies in tier 2, tier 3 towns, and we are getting a good response from there. In tier 1 cities, we are going entirely by digital marketing and through the BTL activity. When it comes to the achievements, so right now we are conducting health camp with Uber, wherein we become their preferred health partner, because all the Uber drivers, they work day and night while driving the car, and they leave their health on the last priority because of work. So Uber and Alterna Care have partnered recently to give health consultation to their drivers. And apart from this, the government is also very positive with the Alterna Care's initiative, and Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji, who is the MP from Jodhpur, he has shown positive response, and soon we will be starting our services in Rajasthan with the tie-up of government of Rajasthan. And apart from this, the word of mouth is also growing, and a lot of organic traffic is coming now. And so the patients who have actually consulted on our platform, now they are referring other patients to consult with our doctors, which is again an achievement. Apart from this, our cost per acquisition has significantly come down by more than 50% within this 6-month period, and our rate of our growth is actually going up with 30% month on month. If you look at the digital healthcare ecosystem right now, most of the players, they are focusing on the app-based solutions, in which the patient himself or herself need to dig deep down, and need to come up with self-learning on the app, and then they need to discover a good doctor either through peers or through the ratings or reference by the other users on the app. In our case, it's just one click to reach out to the most relevant doctor. How we do it? We have algorithms in our backend which run and detect the doctor's behavior, and the most successful ratings of the doctor is given by the follow-ups coming on to the doctors, and the ratings given by the actual patients who went to see the doctor. So if suppose there is a doctor who saw 3 different cases in multiple patients. Now out of those 3 different cases, the most successful case will automatically be prioritized, and the next time if that case is being asked by any patient, then that patient will be automatically be aligned to that doctor. In case that patient is not happy with that doctor, then obviously they can opt for other doctors. So that is A. Secondly, we don't force anyone to download any app. So it's completely hassle free. You don't have to download any app, don't have to burn any cash on data or anything. And the third one is that even though if you don't want to give a call, you can simply request a call back, in which you just simply need to enter a mobile number on our partnered apps or on our website, and you'll receive a call back from our side instantly. In the January this year, we have raised $500,000 from Eros Labs, which is a partial incubator and a VC fund. In the pipeline, our vision would lie to bring in more and more doctors with multilingual abilities in our key markets, and more patients to consult those doctors. Apart from this, we would be looking at going or entering the markets in Southeast Asia as well as Middle East, because even now organically we are growing in Middle East. A lot of patients who are hailing from Kerala, whose relatives are working in Middle East, they give us they call on our number to talk to the doctors, because in Middle East or in the foreign market, that Indian touch is not there. So they call on our number and talk to our doctors. There were many challenges, and to list out, first of all, of course, the patients. I mean, those patients, they were not convinced about if they can actually talk to a doctor and how fruitful will that be, because this is an entirely new concept for them. I mean, though it has been almost 17 years since it has been adapted in India, and for the past 50 years it's there in the US, but still, to convince the patient, it was a big challenge. Secondly, to convince the doctors was a bigger challenge, because the doctors are accustomed to see the patient in front of them and to check their pulse with their hands, and to that touch and feel was not there at all. So we formed an advisory board, because we ourselves are engineers, like most of the team comprise of engineers. So we had to form an advisory board of the doctors, experienced doctors, who imbibe that confidence in those doctors to kind of give consultations over call. And after, say, a few days, weeks, or now months, all our doctors are really very happy, and they actually like to spend more time with the patients, and then they send out the prescriptions. And on top of this, if they are not convinced with the replies of the patient, then what they do is they suggest the prescriptions on which contains the test the patient needs to go through, and then the patient comes back with the report of the test, and then the actual prescription and or the name of the medicines are being sent out. Initially, there was a challenge with the compliance or the laws in the Indian by the Indian government. So we had started with homeopathy, which even in the Drug and Cosmetic Act, it's not that clear. So we started with homeopathy. So after that, we added on allopathy. After allopathy, in allopathy we added on specialization like gynecology, pediatrics, then general physician was already there. So a lot of specialities were added in allopathy only. After allopathy, we added Ayurveda, diet and nutrition, and psychiatry, because from the tier 2, tier 3 towns, we were getting a lot of calls regarding mental health. So we added psychiatry, and it's working wonderful.